Good morning. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope you are having an amazing morning. I am. It is going to be a wonderful, wonderful day. Hope you guys are ready to get this day started. Good morning to you. As my fearless co-host comes in, she says I always sing good morning. That's a good thing. Good morning to you. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you enjoyed the show. Have you guys been sharing the show? Tell us what you think. Send us any ideas that you would like for us to go over or talk about. And don't forget, as Lynn is coming on, don't forget June 16th, Circle and Moon, The Great Escape Mini. Please make sure that you are here with us and ready to go, ready to learn. Good morning, Kimberly. Hold on, guys. Coming. Good morning.
Hey. Good morning. I need you to slide over a little bit because I only see half of your face.
Is that better?
Okay, that's better. Good morning, guys. Thank you, Kim. She says, loving the show. You've been sharing as well. Thank you so much
Kim.
for doing that. You are the real MVP. What? Yes, you are. All right, guys. Good morning. And thank you for joining us where we're having these true confessions and conversations about everyday life and finances over here. And yes, my co-host was singing good morning to y'all again.
Good morning to you. Good morning to
Oh, no. But it's cool, though. I mean, I kid with you. I really do. But yeah.
Y'all see how she did me right? Y'all saw that right? It's okay.
All right.
My voice coach is on. Good morning, my voice coach Trenda. My voice coach is going to get me together so that I can sing a song for you guys. So it's going to be all right.
You have your work cut out for you, but I believe in you, boo. All right.
You believe in miracles?
I believe, right? Yes, y'all. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our trivia this morning. Just a couple of little quick things. Y'all, and I know we talked about this before, but it bears repeating, especially if you're driving in to the office this morning or taking the kids to school or whatever you're doing on your morning ritual. Yes, it's almost the end of the school year over here. It's the last day of school for many of the schools here in the metro area. Some of them were out yesterday, but that's cool too. So we getting ready for this holiday this weekend and everything. So I wish everybody, first and foremost, be safe out there in those streets, especially if you're getting ready to roll out to the beaches or the mountains or whatever your destination is. Just be safe because we want you to make it back next week, right? Want you to make it back. So definitely be safe on the holidays. And there are a lot of interesting things, JoJo, that happened this week that we didn't talk about on the show, right?
That's the song.
Yeah.
What happened? That's the song I was looking for, Trenda. But what happened that we didn't know about, Lynn?
No, I didn't say we didn't know about it. I said we didn't talk about it.
Oh, okay.
There are a lot of things that we didn't talk about because there were some very interesting things around the royal wedding. There were some very interesting concepts and debates out there that people had. Some people were bashing just the people who were happy about the fact. And I mean, it was all kind of crazy. We missed this week. We also missed a huge one here in Georgia, Democratic primary win for Miss Abrams, possibly the first Black governor in the country. Yep. She's running. It's going to be tough, but it's going to happen in November. I can feel it in my bones. So y'all check back with us throughout the process, see how she's doing. But yes, it's possibly another historical moment. See, this week was the moment of history making. I guess every week could be history making, though, right? Yeah. But there are a lot of things going on this week that we didn't talk about that I thought were interesting. But I digress. Let me get to this trivia this morning. First, in Tennessee, y'all, and I know we shared this before, but I thought I had to bring it back. In Tennessee, it's illegal to drive if you are what? It's illegal to drive
I forgot.
if you are asleep, y'all.
Asleep. That's it. Don't be
It's
sleeping
illegal
out
to
here in these
drive
streets.
if you are asleep. Why does that have to be a law? Who's out there trying to, well, let me take that back, because there's been a lot of accidents that have happened where people have fallen asleep at the wheel. So I guess they
Right.
had to turn it into a law, right?
Yep.
Turn it into a law so that they can, yeah. Oh, Carl said it's illegal to drive in Tennessee right now.
That is right, cousin Carl. But don't go to sleep either, please.
I'm
I
not
need
going
y'all to
there
be
with y'all
careful out
this
here in these
morning.
streets.
I'm not going there with y'all this morning, but you know you're right. Anywho, the
Amen.
next one, we got to be careful. So we tripping about it, but we doing our baby's birthday getaway in Tennessee this year. So yeah, up in the mountains of Tennessee. So y'all pray for us as we go through. I was thinking about praying for the bears that might be out there around the place, but yeah, pray for us as we drive through
She
as
said
well.
praying for the
All right.
bed.
Yeah, because those bears have been attacking. I don't know if you heard all the stories, but the bears have been attacking. And they even have a disclaimer on the website at the actual cabins that we booked that do not cook out at night because of the bears.
Wow.
Yes. So, right, exactly. But anywho, they hungry too. They got to eat too, right? They just won't
Hey.
be eating me. All right. In the second bit of trivia, I think this is pronounced Papa. I don't know. Papua. Papua New Guinea. It's in New Guinea. What is the leading cause of death? The leading cause of death in New Guinea is falling out of trees. The leading cause of death.
Why? But I
It's
guess
not
this
heart.
New Guinea ain't a whole lot going on, though, is it?
I don't know. It's not heart
But
attacks. It's not diabetes. It's
let me tell
not
you,
car accidents. It's falling out of trees.
that
Must be some great fruit in those trees, or maybe they're using. Maybe it's a way of life over there, or something that.
man, let me tell you, falling out of a tree hurt. I fell out of a tree. Did I tell y'all that story at my family reunion? I fell out the tree in front of everybody. And my mother, I thought I had died and went to heaven because my mother, I opened my eyes and my mother is over me crying. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm dead. No, she fell over laughing. She was not crying because I was hurt. She fell over laughing. I digress.
Wow.
I had to show off, and somebody was in my tree. And so you couldn't just climb my tree. So I had to get up there and do a somersault off the limb. And mid-turn, the limb started to crack. And it was just like a cartoon. I looked over and the limb just broke in slow motion. And I was like, ah! And then I fell and I landed on the tree trunk. And then the limb landed on top of me.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. You couldn't do that again, right?
Girl, what? Gave up my tree climbing days right there.
I need a video.
No.
I need a reenactment because I don't.
So I can understand the New Guinea why they got problems falling out of trees. I understand y'all.
All right, y'all. We're moving.
All right, let's keep going, y'all. We already at 7:30.
Oh, it was a way of life for you too, Trenda. I don't understand, y'all.
Y'all, that's where we are from. We climb trees.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, okay, yeah. All right. I don't even know what to say to that, but okay. So our quote this morning, y'all, for our Fearless Morning Show is, our lives begin to end the day we come silent about things that matter.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
by none other than Martin Luther King Jr. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. So what are those things in your life that you're simply sitting on the sidelines about, that you definitely need to be doing more than just praying about it? You need to be speaking out and actually doing something about it, right? It's not Take Action Tuesday, but you definitely need to do something about those things on this Thursday, right?
Thursday.
Yeah. On Thursday.
Yes.
Right? Yes, yes, and yes. And Trenda says she has a story she'll share with us next time. All
The
right.
willow tree story, weeping willow,
Okay.
Lord, it probably beat her up. Those trees hurt.
Oh, and I hope it wasn't the one where Trenda was trying to swing across the little creek. That she
Oh,
fell in. Yeah, if y'all haven't seen that video, that one's
yeah,
on
that's funny.
Facebook.
And my
Go to
friend was
her
determined to
page.
get over that creek, boy. She rolled
Go
up
to
her
her
pants
page.
leg and everything.
Yes. Oh gosh, we have some crazy stories with some trees going on here this morning. But all right, y'all, I digress. Let's get into the conversation and get our money right this morning with your financial rebound coach. Yes, America's #1, Lynn Dimmons. So let's go ahead and get it started this morning. We've been talking about, guys, what are those things you must do to invest with confidence? And investing with confidence is of utmost importance for us. The other day, my husband and I, we were watching a documentary on Netflix. And you can go and search this documentary out. But they were talking about the exact same things that we were talking about here on the show in regards to bridging the wealth gap and what the wealth gap actually is. And the statistic that they shared on this it's a mini docu series that they have. They actually talk about if we look at the wealth for the average white family in America, the average white family, if you look at their assets and you subtract out their debt, their average net worth is $171,000. And you say, wow, okay, well, that's not that significant of a number, but that's on the positive side. Think about it on the positive side, minus your debts. And then they also had a graphic, y'all, where they showed for the average Black family. And in the average Black family in America, after we look at our assets and subtract our debt, the average wealth of a Black family is $17,000. I'm going to let that soak in for a moment.
Yep.
The average for a white family is $171,000. The average for a Black family, as far as the net worth, is $17,000. Guys, so you take that and you multiply that times 10. So that's a 10x wealth gap difference, if you will, right? Because 17,000 times 10, that's 170,000. So there's a 10 times difference. You see that? In the wealth for the Black community versus that of the white community. So how do we now close this gap? And they also went on to say in that documentary, guys, they're talking about how all of this came about. Now, I'm not going to go through an entire history lesson because for many of us, I'm hopeful that you know your lesson. But they went as far back as talking about Abraham Lincoln and then the 40, you know, how everybody's saying, oh, I want my 40 acres and a mule. And then how that did not pass and how that was pulled back and all of the laws that went into the housing, the subprime mortgage loans and things, and how that affected the Black community, and how when the economic downturn of 2007 and 2008 mostly impacted Black families because the majority of those subprime mortgages were given to the Black communities. Even the Black family members who had 800 plus credit scores. I said, that is ridiculous. And then you know what I did, y'all? I went back and I actually looked at ours because we bought a home at that time. We fit right into that. And my husband and I, granted, y'all, we have 800 plus credit scores, right? We had a subprime mortgage loan that they gave to us. It was one of those where they gave you the varying interest rate for it was like for the first 5 years, it was a really low interest rate. And then after that, it fluctuated and it went up. So those subprime mortgages that they talked about, and the reason that a lot of people in our communities lost their net worth or they lost their homes, over 56%, y'all. Over 56% of those subprime mortgages that were lost with the economic downturn occurred within the Black community.
Mm.
So it was appalling, right? To see those numbers on the screen. Yeah, I knew it in theory because you hear about all the stories. You saw the people in your communities. I saw the homes within our neighborhoods that were lost, right? I saw the foreclosures happen. You know, we saw all of these things happen, but we did not recognize the true impact of what that did. And then what they go on to talk about, and I know I digress, guys, and we got to get to the things that you must do to invest with confidence. But it just is, this conversation is very important to us, especially with an emphasis on our women in this community. And what it all boils down to, it's basic math. I know I've been throwing some numbers at you, but it's basic math. Your money can only grow to the extent that you do. And that's why I'm so thankful for the opportunities that you guys are here to join and have these conversations with us. So, and I thank you, and I appreciate also for those of you who actually comment and share your thoughts and concerns in the comment section as we go through each morning and have these conversations. But for today, guys, knowing that, understanding that, right, and wanting to improve upon that, that's our mission. We need to help one person every day. We need to give hope, right?
Mm-hmm.
Help one person every day. So our concept today is we have to master our time and focus on your money. Master your time and focus on your money. That's what we're talking about today. Let me repeat it again. Master your time and focus on your money. And I say this over and over and over, guys. We have the same 24 hours every day. You have the same 1,440 minutes every day. You have the same 86,400 seconds per day that everyone else has. What are you doing with your time? And are you prioritizing that time now so that you can focus on what it is that matters most to you in your life, and then also providing time to focus on your money?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's where we have to be intentional in this process so that we can now invest with confidence. And I'm going to say it again, y'all, it's basic math. Your money can only grow to the extent that you do. So how are you growing? And in growing, in focusing on your time, guys, I'm saying these are things that we have to do consistently, right? So when I say do it consistently, it means to do it on a regular basis. Just like you get up every morning and you hit, I know I get up every morning. First thing we do, we hit the alarm clock, right? But some mornings I don't need the alarm clock. But in hindsight, that's what we do. We get up, we hit the alarm clock, we have our routines. The same thing is important when it comes to our finances. You focus and prioritize your time in regards to what you need to invest in. And the number one key here, how do you now focus? How do you master your time when you focus on your money? It starts with awareness first and foremost. And that's what we started out talking about with this series. It was about awareness around where you are with your finances and how you're managing that. So make sure that you do that. And I have some reflection questions that I want to give you that you need to focus on, that'll get you in that way. So I have my notes right here. And if you would write these down, if somebody would type these into the comments too, because the people who are joining us, and guys, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. And I'm asking you to share this broadcast. Okay, because it's very important that we get this information out to our communities, because we don't have to continue to stay in the same place. We talked about the wealth gap, the average white family having $171,000 worth of wealth, the average Black family only having $17,000 worth of wealth at this point when you look at their assets minus their debt. So how do we close this gap, guys? We have to be intentional in focusing on our finances and learning how to invest. And I talk about investing in the markets, but it's not just about investing in the markets. Yes, you invest in stocks. Yes, you invest in your future. Yes, you invest in your retirement. But you also, it's a very important message that's also inside of that documentary that I mentioned on Netflix that you guys need to go and find. There's a very important conversation around building wealth And the number one place that we build wealth, first and foremost, is in our homes. That's where it starts, right? So what are those things now, guys, that we need to focus on intentionally so that we can start to build wealth for our families? That's what's most important. We build it for our families. Then you take that information, you share it out and help build your community. See, that's where oftentimes, guys, we miss the boat. We miss the conversation, or we miss the opportunity, if you will, because we don't take the time out to go out and now share this with others. So that's what I'm imploring you to do today, to go out and share this information. So share this broadcast. And what we also invite you to do is to come with us. Come visit us on June 16th at the Circle and Moon. Purchase your ticket for the Great Escape Mini, where we'll be dealing with life, your finances, and your health during this venue. You'll be with us all day, and we'll be going through systematizing these things, providing blueprints for the things that you can do. The beauty of it, guys, you get to choose what works for your situation, because what worked for me doesn't guarantee that it's going to work for you. That doesn't guarantee it's going to work for JoJo. But there's a series of different things that are going to allow you to be successful once you get in the room. So join us June 16th so we can move this conversation forward and start putting these things to action, because it is important. It is highly important for us as a people and for our communities. And for those of you who cannot join us live in Roswell, Georgia, and you want to learn to invest, we have an online community. We have an online community of women who invest. And I'm going to give you that link too, bit.ly/WWinvest, where we provide online. It's a monthly fee that's attached to that, but there's online education classes. You don't have to go travel. You don't have to leave your home. You can join us via your phones or your laptops. There are opportunities to get the information that you need. Yes. So ensure that you are now sharing this information out in your community, y'all, and make sure that you're sharing this broadcast to others. Invite someone else to join this conversation with you. Invite someone else along so that we can continue to grow together as a group. Like I said earlier, y'all, it's basic math. You grow, your money can grow only to the extent that you grow, right? And if you don't grow, and what I mean by growing your mind. And JoJo talks about stretching your brain. She talks about that on yesterday. Stretching your brain, expanding your brain. That means expanding your territory, if you will, right? By doing these things, going through these things, that is how you are going to be able to change the trajectory, or change the path, or change the landscape, right, for your family, for your future. Because if truth be told, guys, there are certain things that are ingrained within our thinking, whether we know it consciously or subconsciously, that have triggered us to spend money the way that we do. And the reason I say spend is because the majority of us are only consumers. The concept of being a producer is so far-fetched for many of us that it's a different way of thinking. So that's why we're having these conversations with you now in regards to the things you must do in order to invest with confidence. Because if you're not thinking right, then you will not follow through on a lot of these things. So let me give you these questions. I'm sorry. These are the questions you need to be reflecting on. So if someone will capture this in the comments. Question number 1. What is the single biggest breakdown in your finances that you want to solve? What is the single biggest breakdown in your finances that you want to solve? See, this is a tough question, right? That's a courageous conversation that you now need to have with yourself. Or if you're married, that you now need to figure out, how am I going to have this conversation now with my spouse? Because there's a breakdown here in our finances, right? Number 1 cause of divorce, y'all, you know it before I even say it, is fighting over money, right? So how do we now change the situation? How do we change the story? How do we now change and build a true legacy in our families? So that's question number 1 that you need to ask yourself. What is the single biggest breakdown in your finances that you would like to solve, that you want to solve? See, guys, this is the pre-work that you need to do, because your mindset needs to be in the right place as we go on this journey. All of this information is pointless because you're not going to do anything with it. So you have to understand, you have to comprehend and know what is the reason behind this. Why am I doing this, right? Why am I doing it? Once you know the why, then that completely changes everything. So what is that thing that you want to solve? The number 2 question, what would happen if you solve it? What would your life look like? What would happen if you solve it? Would there be a sense of peace in your life? Would you be able to do the things that you need to do with your family? Would you be able to spend more time with your family? Would you be able to send your children to school without student loans? Would you be able to retire and not have to worry about going back to work to become a Walmart greeter or to work at Walgreens or whatever the case may be? Not saying anything's wrong with those positions. Somebody's got to do it. But what would happen if you solved those financial problems? What would happen if you didn't have to dip and dodge those phone calls, right, from those creditors? What would happen if you didn't have to worry about that foreclosure letter showing up in your inbox? What would happen? What type of peace would befall you once you understand and recognize, guys, that understanding and managing your finances means that I now got to manage my time and focus on my money, right? See, these are things you got to do, guys. This is the foundation. And you got to think about it. Every building that goes up has to have a solid foundation, whether it's your house or the Empire State Building or some other building that you're looking at. Everything needs a foundation, and any foundation you look at, there is a deep hole. And what that boils down to when it comes to our money, guys, there are some deep-seated holes. There are some deep-seated issues at the root of our thinking when it comes to our money.
Yes.
There are some, and you know the roots of a tree. Most of the time, you cannot see how deep those roots penetrate into the ground. And that's how deeply ingrained our thinking, those negative thoughts and associations around our money, are ingrained within our brain. So there is a lot of work that we now have to do that's going to push us forward, guys. But until you do that work, until you go through and recognize those things that I share, the question, the single biggest breakdown in your finances you want to solve, what is that? And then what would happen if you solve it? What would happen if you solve this problem? How will your life look differently? And then can I ask you the uncomfortable question? Can I ask you the elephant in the room situation? How much longer are you willing to wait? That's question number 3. How much longer are you willing to wait? How much longer are you going to deny yourself the peace, right? How much longer are you going to continue to live in this state of disgust and depression that surrounds the fact that we're not managing our funds appropriately? How much longer, right, is it going to take you to be able to transition to that state of peace, right? There's a peace that befalls you when you master your money in the most appropriate way, but you also have to master your time so that you can master your money. Because a lot of times we're out there doing all kinds of things, right? Just to fill our time, because we just want to be busy. And we're not really paying attention to what truly matters most. And I know this is a tough conversation to have this morning, but it has to be had if you are truly ready to make the change. Like I said, y'all, it's basic math. Your money can only grow to the extent that you do. And I'm stretching you this morning. I'm stretching you to think outside of that normal box that you've always thought inside of. I'm stretching you outside of that consumer box, right? I'm stretching you because there are some expenses that you have that you don't have to have, that you can use and change now and figure out how am I going to invest, right? How can I now take this money and instead of just spending it, but use it to help me make my money, keep my money, and grow my money? Yeah, it's a tough conversation. Yeah, I stepped on some toes this morning. But sometimes you have to get uncomfortable. Sometimes we have to be in these uncomfortable situations before we recognize and realize, hey, I need to make a change. Otherwise, right, I'll continue to get what I've always gotten. So, guys, we invite you to join us in Roswell, June 16th at the Circle and Moon to be in the place. A lot of us need someone to be there with us face to face because that's how we do it. This online thing isn't working for us. And I would do whatever it took to get to the Circle and Moon on June 16th to make sure that I get in that place to talk about my life, my health, and my finances to move to my next.
That's right.
And for those of you who are just joining the broadcast, make sure you share this out. Those of you who are listening on the replay, make sure you share it out as well. Get this out into the community because we're here to give hope, y'all. Help one person every day. We're here to help the community to get to their next. That's what this is about. And JoJo said, she says it often. She has a sticky note. Someone is waiting to hear your voice, and they're not going to move until you do. So when I move, you move, just like that, right? So guys, we're inviting you to join us. There have been 2 invitations this morning. Is there one, right? Can I say that? Is there one? Guys, so definitely go over, get your tickets. The early bird is now. The early bird is now. Go ahead and get your tickets over there. They're only $97. Is it worth $97 to change your life? Right? Is it worth $97 to get the information that you need? Because it's basic math. Your money can only grow to the extent that you do. Your life will only change to the extent that you do. Your health will only manifest itself to the extent that you do. Right? So there are things that you must do, things that we have to learn. But first and foremost, we're having these conversations with you because this is where it all starts. And if this is not right, your money won't be right. Your life won't be right. Your health won't be right. Right?
That's right.
So come to the do shop, y'all, where we're going to do this thing. Come to the do shop. And it's not going to be a one-time engagement. There will be continuing opportunities, right, to continue to grow and advance and move to the next level. That's what we do over here at the Fearless Morning Show. I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yes, I said it, America's #1. I'm going to turn it over to my co-host to close us out because I think I have taken up too much time this morning.
All right, guys, you really have to be willing to stretch yourself. And here's one of the things that would always get me, and sometimes it still does, when I wanted to invest in myself or do something that I know I needed, or to get some information that I know I needed. I was like, well, how can I do that if I'm already living paycheck to paycheck? I can't possibly do that. I really want to go, but I'm living paycheck to paycheck and I just cannot go. And then that's when I thought about all the times I just got that dollar thing at the store. I ran into the Dollar Tree, and then those $97 or the $100 or the $300 I wanted to invest added up really quickly in a store, and I didn't think anything about it. And so then when I started to prioritize myself and what I wanted to do and the change I wanted to see, then it became, my mindset began to change. Because in the beginning, Lynn, I think it's hard for us to have that mindset that we're going to invest in ourselves. Because I think one of my biggest purchases when I went to Great Girlfriends Weekend, last year, and I think it was like 300 and something dollars, not including my plane ticket. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe. But it stretches your mind. And then when you stretch your mind just a tad bit and you see what's possible and what you can do, then everything else really does become easier. Avenues open up. So it's all about your mind change. So all right, so the Phyllis thought of the day, guy, I just want to put that in there. So if you're thinking about, can I afford to come, if I want to come, do I have the money? That's one of my confessions for today. I've been in that boat, but when I decided that I was priority and I was going to invest in myself, because we invest in everything and everybody else, then the decision was so much easier, and the money to find it was way easier than I thought. Because if you look at it this way, in terms of your finances, when we pay a bill late, that's $50. You pay your rent late, that's $75. You pay your car payment late, that's some late fees. Every time you pay something late, you got late fees attached to that. And you don't have any problem paying those. So if you paid your bills on time for 1 month, you could afford to invest in other things besides our, coming to see us at the Circle and Moon on June 16th. You can invest in books. You can invest in whatever else that could be your investing money. It could be whatever. But when you stop and think about it and stretch your mind just a little bit, the opportunities will be there. All right. So the fearless thought of the day is the danger of anger. So on this journey, guys, you're going to get mad, and you're not going to get mad in the way that you think, because you're already mad now because somebody has hurt your feelings, right? But you're going to get mad because of the realization of what's really going on, how your friends have really been treating you, or the reality of such certain situations that you've allowed for so long. Well, now you're mad and you want to take it out on other people, and you absolutely can't do that. Because when you do that, it's 4 things. The danger of anger is strife, bitterness, isolation, and retaliation. Strife meaning you're going to make it harder for yourself holding on to that anger and trying to bring it to somebody else's attention. It only makes it worse for you. Bitterness, because now you are, and here's the thing, on this journey with your money and your life, you become so much more aware of everything that you get mad because other people don't know and they are oblivious and they don't want to know. That will make you angry to the point of you can have hour-long conversations about why don't they get it. It's not your problem. The third thing is isolation. And I've been through all of these. You'll get so angry, you know what, just forget it. I'll be by myself. And I am a fan of quiet time. And I love being by myself. Do you please understand that? But when you get angry to that point, especially when this reality starts to hit you, you'll want to isolate yourself to the point where, and you walk a thin line feeling, oh, I'm better than you. I ain't got to be around you. Or isolation is let me get myself together. So you walk up, and then right in the middle of that is I'm mad at you because you don't see the wrong in how we're living, and I'm trying to educate you to do better. It's a fine line right there. So then you're going to isolate yourself. And then the fourth thing is retaliation, especially when it comes to your life and maybe your relationships. When you begin to acknowledge that, hey, maybe this is not the best relationship for me, you're going to, and then you get mad because you realize you've been taking this and you didn't have to. Then you want to bust somebody's head to the white meat, and you can't do that. You can't do that. And so the danger of holding all of that in, it's going to cause you to stumble, it's going to cause you to stall, and it's going to cause you to stop, because you got a lot going on this fearless journey. And if you let anger discombobulate you, you're going to stop, because it can take up so much time. It can take up so much space at being mad and being angry. And then what I didn't mention is you're going to be angry at yourself. You're going to be, I was mad at me for a long time. Like, Heifer, what was you think? What was you doing? Why were we accepting all of this? And then then you start, that's when I talked about that new character and new rules. That's when you start asserting those new rules. Like, I might have gotten it wrong before, but please understand, JoJo got it right now. And so these are the new rules to come with me. But if you hold on to that anger for yourself, it's going to cause strife, bitterness, isolation, and retaliation. And none of that, my friend, is going to work. None of it's going to get you past the point of where you want to be. You're going to be stuck. Then you're going to become stuck for a whole nother reason. Now, we wouldn't want that, because you don't work so hard to get this far. Why would you want to cause anger to stall you and stop you? And here's what you have to, this is how I walk through it. And I'll say all the time, it's gotten easier. In the beginning, it was extremely hard. I acknowledge that I'm mad, that they hurt my feelings. I want to cuss them out. Sometimes I want to punch them in the throat, rip out their esophagus. That's my favorite word. I tell the kids, just rip out their esophagus. It's okay. And so you may feel all of that, but I feel it, I acknowledge it, and I say, you know what? If it has not, and y'all know my rule that I taught the kids, put your hand up. And if anything outside of your hand, it's not your business. So I let all of that other stuff go. So now I can see when somebody makes me mad, I can say, okay, that made me mad. All right, well, now let me move past that, because if it's not directly affecting my life, I cannot hold on to it. Because if I hold on to it and take it with me, it will start to affect my life. And then I got a whole host of other problems to worry about besides the one I started out with. So today, guys, on this Thankful Thursday, let's let go of some anger. Don't let it hold you back from doing what you need to do. If you let anger go, I guarantee you could free up probably 75% of your day. Some of us are holding on to anger and we don't even know that we're holding on to it. What's so funny, man?
Girl, you big mad if you got 75% of your day tied up in anger, right?
Yeah, but some people are. They really are, because they mad because somebody done hurt them, and that's all they can think about is how somebody did them wrong and what they want to do to get back, how they want to do, and it consumes their very being. Let me tell you something. Your stomach will stop hurting, your head will start hurting, your kneecap, your hip, your everything will stop hurting if you let go of that mad. Because Lynn, I've been there. I've been big mad for years and held on to things that I didn't really know I was holding on to. And then I let it go. I was like, what the hell? I feel better now.
Yeah, I was just thinking I need my Frozen theme song right now. Just playing in the background. Let it go, right?
Let it go. I promise your life will be so much better if you let it go. And here's the thing. When you let it, let's not make this process harder than what it is. Please understand. A lot of people think it's so difficult. In the beginning, it may be. But if you say, you know what, I let that go, and you for real let it, every time the thought comes up, you replace it with something else, it becomes so much easier to let things go and move on with your life and replace it with something else. Child, please, you'll be living the best life while somebody else is sitting over there chilling.
Right, exactly.
So don't get caught up in that today. The danger of anger is too great. You don't want it to control your life or to take over or to hinder you from. Remember, we got a goal in mind. We're trying to get somewhere. We can't be getting stopped by little stuff like anger. That's just not. They said we can get angry, yeah, but sin not. Sinning is holding on to it, letting it manifest inside of you, and then you sharing it with your kids, because now you mad. You got to take it out on other people because you can't take it out on a person or the situation you want to take it out on. That's a whole different other conversation. So, all right, guys, that is it for the Fearless Thought of the Day. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. I hope we are sharing things that everybody is interested in. If you have thoughts or ideas you want us to go over or cover, please post them and let us know. Remember to share the video. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, that is our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share that. Lynn, we also had, Lynn, you want to tell them about our fan page for the Fearless Morning Show? Most of you guys probably got an invite from me last night. If not, it is forthcoming. You need not worry. Lynn, you want to tell them about it, or you want me to do it?
I'm sorry, my Xfinity is acting up. It went out when you were talking, so can you Please reiterate what you just said.
I said, do you want to tell them about the Fearless Morning Show fan page?
Oh, yes,
Can you
yes,
hear me?
guys. Come on
Okay.
over to the fan page. Go and give us some likes over there. And we'll definitely be sharing all of our videos to that page. So you'll have one place to go and binge watch. Well, now you have two places to binge watch on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. So go like it. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go leave us some feedback over on our Facebook fan page. I know I'm giving you a lot of stuff to do, but we pour out to you guys every weekday. So if you could just give us just a little thumbs up, click it on there, like the page, and also leave us some feedback, 5 stars, please, over on the Fearless Morning Show, and invite your friends to come over and like the page as well. We'll be sharing great information over there as well, in addition to our Fearless Morning Show topics, our videos every morning. We'll also be putting some additional motivation, inspiration, and empowerment on that page as well. So, guys, join us over there. Join us at the Circling Moon. We have so many different opportunities for you to connect with us. I just don't know. It's
I'm
amazing.
telling you, you better pick one and come on, dog. We ain't got time. Here's what we don't have time for. We ain't got time to be playing out here in these streets. We are building generational wealth, and our generations are waiting on us. So if we got the education, it is now your turn, my friend, to bring somebody along to get this education. You can educate your family. It's all about building this for your. If you love the last name Waddell and Twitty as much as I do, I'm sure you love your last name just as much. We got to set this up, y'all, and we're gonna do that. We have been charged to do that, and I promise we're not gonna stop till we make it happen. How about that?
Right. I
felt that down deep in my soul.
Wow.
I felt that this morning, y'all. We got to be intentional about this thing. And I promise I'm being intentional about it. So, all right, guys, make sure that you share the show. Make sure you get your tickets to the Great Escape Mini, June 16th. I'm excited. Make sure you tell your friends and family. I am the only Live Past Crazy specialist, so what better place to be than here with me and Miss Lynn Demons, who's America's #1 rebound coach. Yes, she said it, America's #1. And she double dog dared you to challenge that.
Yeah. What?
That's right. So, guys, make sure you share the video. We appreciate you. We love you guys for coming on every morning. We hope you have a great, great Thursday, and we'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning at 7:15. Have a good one.
Signing off, guys.